that means I need to figure out on my computer where I can see this, and that's too high, maybe. There we go. I think that's better. I think that is better. And that said upcoming. Oh, I think I had it. There it goes. Nice. I had it. There it goes. Nice. Just bring the volume down. I don't know if anybody's here. Maybe not. But yeah, I figured I would just come online while I wait, because I've got nothing really else planned for today. And what I was hoping that it doesn't look like you can do, which is kind of sad, is I was kind of hoping that you could use like the cinema view, the you know, the funky background stuff, the blurry. Why can't I think today? I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't look like you can. It just kind of chooses the camera. So I'm using my iPhone 14. So that's kind of cool. I'm just gonna post here. Hello, whoever decides to show up. There you go. That's fun. That's fun. It doesn't look like anybody's really here yet, so that's okay. That's okay as well. So, I'm not sure what the rest of you all are doing today. I'm just going to turn that on right there. Once that saves, go back. The real question is there anybody even here? You know? Is there anybody even here? I don't know. And why won't this let me pick it? Sometimes I'm a little confused. It's true. Oh, I can do it here. There we go. We're good. We're good. Hey, hello from Saskatoon. Nice to see you. Nice to see. Well, I say nice to see you here, but I can't see you. I guess it does show up on my phone, but it's better here on the computer. Mississauga and Saskatoon. So we got Canadians like me that don't work in the afternoon, I guess. But it's earlier for you. So Saskatoon would be, I'm trying to think, you must be about what, 10 o'clock in the morning? And it's noon Mississauga, am I right? Does that sound right? I may be wrong. It's hard to write on the live and stay talking, I guess, here. But anybody else waiting for Appley stuff? Because that's kind of what I'm doing. And I'm just gonna bring some stuff over here. Kind of fun to hang out with you guys and answer questions. So listen to YouTube vids while work. Ah, nice. So LB, the question is, really the question is, do you work from home? Because if you're just in an office doing this, that's cool too. But hey Greg, hello from Cowhead, Newfoundland. I was, yes, just got back. This is Old Guy in a Bike. For anybody of you that look, it's cool with some bike videos, go check him out, because I met him. He was here in Nova Scotia at a rally, which I was also at, and we ended up doing breakfast, which was nice. Here we go. Keep it up. Yeah. So, anyways, that was sweet. Anyways, I'm trying to figure out, well, really, I put this up as a Q&A, question and answer. If you guys have any questions for me, or even maybe some questions, because I was thinking about this. Come back with me if you think this is a viable idea, because I like doing the lives, because honestly, I just kind of, you set the camera up and you chat with you folks, which is fantastic. But trying to find sometimes topics, and not just like the last two videos we're waiting for OS updates and stuff like that, which is sort of this one as well, which stretched on way too long, I thought. But it would be kind of cool to do lives, two things, either like lives based on question and answers, if you guys have questions for me. The second would be, and I thought would be kind of a cool idea, if you guys are down, is like on, I don't know what day yet, maybe Fridays or Mondays or something like that, that I would do almost like a question and answer in regards to the products that were released and reviewed from like Sunday through to Friday. So if you're like, hey, I was interested in blah, 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 that came out this past week. But my question is this, and I may be able to answer it and I may not be, because a lot of times too, like my videos can stretch out fairly long sometimes, and I really don't want them to stretch out longer, if that makes any sense, because I try to put in a video things that I would find useful for information, but I don't always get to everything. And sometimes these videos that you see have been recorded or like a week, possibly even two earlier. So some of the products I've now had a chance, not all of them, but some of them I've had a chance to actually play with for a much longer period of time by the time they actually come out. And I may have I don't want to say a difference in opinion, but there may be some more things that I figured out, or some features that I figured out, or some faults that I figured out, or whatever it is. And sometimes during those question and answers, maybe it would be a cool time to, if any of you have that, then that would be good. Weather here is fantastic. Same here. We are getting a bit of a heat wave, which is great for riding. That's what I'm saying. Great for riding. Oh yeah. And I just finished working on a video this morning. 2 videos this morning, actually. One is kind of a vloggy video in regards to Insta360 third-party battery that I bought from Amazon, and I figured, you know, it's getting mixed reviews, so I take it out for a ride, because any excuse that I can get to go for a ride is excellent. And just exporting that as we speak. So that's all right. And I kind of want to see, okay, hold on. My iPad won't get Stage Manager. So will it be 16.1 or just 15? No, I think I think that you'll still get 16. I don't know for sure. 16. There'd be some features that aren't there. It's just like, for instance, I have a MacBook Pro that I'm working on right now. I have an Intel iMac, which is actually the same 27-inch iMac that you can kind of get. I think you can still get the last one that they made. And it'll get, as far as I know, the new Mac OS, but it won't have all the features. There are certain features that it'll look at hardware and be like, no, you don't get that. And so I have an iPad Air 4th gen. So curious. I also don't think I get Stage Manager, because I'm not 100% sure. You need a new machine, or one of the M processors or something like that. I'm not completely sure. Lives are great. Well, Sask got hit with a good bit of snow. I saw some places get snow. More along the number 1, not up here, just a skiff, then warming up this weekend. Yeah, I saw actually some photos. I have friends that are out, well, everywhere is kind of west from me, but that were showing me pictures of their like patios and all that. They got snow. That's my biggest concern. I have a friend of mine, because we don't have a garage. I have a friend of mine that was like, hey, if you want to store your motorcycles, we have a big barn that you can store your bikes in. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. But of course, it's not as if he lives next door, so that means I have to drive it. It's not far, like 5-10 minutes away. But I'm always concerned, because I never want to put my bike away too early, because whenever there's a nice day, I want to take it out for a ride. And I have friends of mine that have put their bikes away already. But like, again, I got to go out yesterday. I emailed a friend of mine, and she's like, yeah, no, bike's away already. I'm like, oh, that's sad. So I'm always concerned. I'm like, what if it snows and now I'm stuck because the snow stays? The hope is that even if it snows, that it melts, and during that melting, you can get it somewhere. But it's always a little risky. Always a little risky. And I always hate when you do a software update and it's like last check today at 8:15 in the morning, and I'm like, yeah, that's great, but what about right now? What about now? Oh, here we go. Last check 108.
Could you say that again?
Shh, that's Siri. Still riding in Newfoundland, but not much later. Yeah, see, I always, well, I've had years where I've got to ride all the way into December. Actually, I've had a year when I was in Ottawa that I rode on Christmas Day, which was cool. But I had a garage, right? So that means I could be like, put the bikes away, get them ready for winter, winterize them. And Christmas Day came, and I'm like, let's go for a ride, because it's Christmas Day, and why would you not want to go for a ride if you could? And then the following day it snowed, and that was it. Like, the winter came. But when you don't have a garage, it's a decision that you can't really make at the end, right? So I don't know. We'll see. Bring this down a little bit lower because I want to lean back. Good afternoon, Rivet Head. Good afternoon. So, anybody on the chat? I know that old guy on the bike. Anybody else on the chat ride a motorcycle? Not holding it against you if you don't. Just curious for those that are riding. And every time I look off to the side, it's because I got my dual monitors going up, and I'm just kind of going between them. Rule of thumb in Saskatchewan that I do with my boat is Thanksgiving weekend, pull it and the dock for the winter. Yeah, it makes more sense with a boat, I would think, right? Because it's a lot more, I don't know, it's definitely more effort to get a boat out of the water than put a bike in a garage. But, you know, it's, I want to stretch the season out. It's hard to go for, you know, let's say you put it away in November, December, January, February, March. You might get it out in April. So you're coming up with 6 months. That's too long. 5 months is too long, in my opinion. So I have not, in about 15 years since I laid the bike down doing 110 kilometers an hour. Yeah, I haven't laid my bike down going fast. I've laid it down going slow. And I was hit by a car that decided I was coming through it through a green light. I was green coming through. This guy decided to turn right onto my lane. Now dual lane, so I was on the right lane. He came in this way. I swerved over to get away from him, but he came into the left lane, tagged me on the rear tire, and spun me like this. And then I high-sided, and all I can remember, and it's funny now, right? Well, it's not funny. All I can remember is the thinking in my head, this is gonna hurt. And I woke up in the hospital. They had said that, you know, I was about 20 meters or so away from the bike when I talked to the EMTs afterwards. And no, that's not right. I talked to the doctor afterwards. Supposedly I had talked to the EMTs, but I don't remember any of it. But luckily I was in full gear, and I don't say walked away. I did walk away, but after an ambulance ride. So I count that as lucky. I also count the fact that I don't remember it as lucky, because I don't have any of the, oh my gosh, this was like waking up and being in pain. I woke up and I was just like, what happened? So, yeah. For those that remember the accident or get hurt during an accident, yeah, that sucks. And I think if that ever happened to myself or my wife, it would probably be reason enough for us to be like, yeah, that's enough of that. So, wife is a rehab nurse so bike not in my future. No, I would guess not. I've talked to a lot of people that are doctors or nurses that, it's funny, that don't ride, and I've talked to some that have, but I guess if you see that enough. But it also, you know what, how many people come into the hospital because of car accidents? There's way more car accidents probably that happen than motorcycle accidents. you know, just the chances of really getting hurt is higher on a motorcycle. But we don't stop riding cars either, right? Because there's a chance that you could get hit. So that's what I put in my own head as my reasoning, right? You do what you do. It's risky, 100%, right? Exactly, but happy wife. Yes, true story. Luckily, I have a wife that rides as well, so that makes us both happy. Lucky. But again, like I said, if either one of us were to get hurt, that would probably be it, right? Crossing a street is risky. Exactly my point. So I was going to say something, but completely gone. So it is what that is. And I should bring my iPad over, because I'm talking about checking to see if the OS has come out. So I should. Software update, anything? Unable to check. What does that mean? Why are you unable? Software update again. Come on, today's the day. Yep. Haven't turned this iPad on in a while, so my guess is that it's getting 1,000 different updates, or nope. Has anybody gone online? I haven't even gone online. I haven't gone online at all today, really. I've been online, but I haven't gone online in regards to this. Has anybody announced like a time? Like they're like, oh, it should come out at blah, blah, blah. Now, usually, as far as I know, you're looking at a 9 o'clock Pacific time, 10 o'clock maybe Pacific time, somewhere in that range, usually, which equates to somewhere around the 1 o'clock, which is why I thought this would be a good time to look. And now I have way too much stuff on my desk. Way too much stuff on the desk. Yep. So let's move the iPad over here. And is anybody else just doing the updates today, or you just wanted to come out and hang out? Because that's cool too. I appreciate all of you for that's it. I think it's 1 p.m.-ish for update. Now you say 1 p.m.-ish. 1 p.m.-ish Eastern time, or 1 p.m.-ish Atlantic time, you know? Wife has all Apple products, so you are my go-to guy for all that is Apple. Nice. Well, I appreciate that. And I'm just here to hang out. Well, I appreciate that as well, because hanging out is cool. I'm going to keep tapping on the screen, but it's kind of pointless. I am going to bring up, a new window here, bring it over here, and I'm going to bring up MacRumors. Good old MacRumors. To see if anything they say, because it did say the 24th. Yes, we all heard that. It said the 24th. Apple Music is increasing in price by $1 for individual users and $2 for family plan. What is the price though? Oh, Apple One family plan, a $3 increase. That's $3 US. No, because after because you've only made $1 billion. $1 billion. It's tomorrow or something that they've talked about their they do their, how much money did we make? What kind of stupid amount of money did we profit this year? And they're probably said, we could make more. Which I get it as a business. That's kind of your end goal. I get it. But come on. $3 family plan? Premium plan. What is the $3? I don't remember which plan I have. I have Apple One. I don't know which plan. $3 though, US. Boo. Boo to you. Yeah, that is almost $10 Canadian. Right? Exactly. So my wife and I and daughter, this is going to be our first holiday season where we don't have really like any family or anything like that around, of course, moving from Ontario to here. Mary's mom and dad live 45 minutes away from us about. So usually, well, at least last year, right? We would go there, they would come here. Usually they come here because our house is bigger. all those subscription-based services will follow suit. I know Netflix is number one. They did just release their, what was it, the ad-supported one, but no, I don't need ad-supported. I get it on YouTube, and I appreciate you guys for watching through the YouTubes with the ads, because that's what keeps me afloat. But off topic here. Anyways, my wife and I and daughter, this is going to be our first holiday. So from, just before Christmas till New Year's, really, that we are all by ourselves, because Mary's mom and dad are going to see my wife's brother, to spend Christmas with them. So we decided we would go somewhere for Christmas. Now, we've never done this ever. We've never been somewhere else together during that time of year. So anybody have guesses as to where we're going? Take a guess. If you get it, you get nothing, except that I will be like, yeah, I'll wait down here. Anybody? Because I'm sure there's a delay. So by the time I see this come up, I'll be like, that was fast. Mexico. No. I just moved back from the Maritimes a month ago, and moved back to the Maritimes. Relaxing holiday season. Florida. Well, so be more specific. And yes, but not because I want to go to Florida, but it's more specific because you got Florida, guy in a bike, Cuba. No, nope. If you've ever watched one of my last videos, you'll know why. Gouging going on. Orlando Disney. There you go. That didn't take long at all, right? I was like 20 questions. Got it in like 3. Not even 3. Rivethead got it in 2. Disney. Yeah, we're going to go to Disney because my daughter's 17, which means next year she's going to university and all this kind of stuff. So this is one of the few times that really kind of holiday-wise, everything kind of fits for us. So we're like, if we want to do it, now is the time to do it. The hope is that, of course, that we go there and don't die. But do you know how expensive Disney is now? Anybody? Yeah. I don't even understand. I don't understand how anybody can charge this much. And what's worse is we're gonna maybe take a day and go to Universal Studios. What? Oh, what? Yeah, that's what I say. So yeah, so Rivethead's like, so I'll give you a rundown, okay? Here's the rundown. And this is just for Disney, this is 3 nights, 2 days, okay? 3 nights, 2 days. We're spending $1,900 and something US. That just gets us in the park, right? Because tickets go up and down depending on time of year, right? So, yeah, about 2,500. Yeah, that's 2 days. That's like 2 days. That's it. So, so they're $159 per ticket normally if you just go. Now that doesn't include if you want a fast pass or anything like that, because there are of course rides that they'll make you pay extra for. Yeah, but the fast pass isn't bad. It's about $15 per person, so that's not horrible. Food can be expensive, but it is what it is. But they have this fast pass thing, which I thought was kind of cool. $15, gets you on a couple rides a little faster than just having to stand in line, especially when you're only going there once, right? And we did check, and everything's still open. But thank you. And yes, December is the most expensive. We figured it out, but again, it's the only time that really all 3 of us have time off. So it's kind of what we have to do. But did you know at Universal Studios, they have the same kind of thing. It's about the same price to get in, probably that $150-ish to get in the park. But they have like an express pass. Now through the week of Christmas, week of Christmas, $250 per person. $750 for 1 day. Just on top of your existing ticket. Oh, boo. So we'll be standing in line because that's outrageous. Wow. Wow, that is pricey. That is ridiculous. So you're looking at 150, 300, $450 for tickets, $750 to get in the park. And that's all US. Yeah. Having my lunch. Nice to see you live. Hey, Zombie Brains. Nice to see you. Oh, so that's crazy. Anyways, that's what's happening. So expect a whole bunch of videos from the land of Orlando, Disney, and the theme parks. And my wife wanted to go to medieval something, the place where you eat, right? Dinner, medieval times. That's it. That's not cheap either. They just nickel and dime you for everything. So I think this holiday, of course, we're not getting anything for each other for holidays because this is the gift. I think it's going to cost us $1 billion. Yeah, $1 billion, I think. Something like that. I don't see how anybody that should be the ones that really can go to Disney can ever afford to go to Disney. Or unless you save up for like years to go. It doesn't make sense. 2,500 is 2 luxurious weeks on the, yeah, I agree. We're going, some of you may have heard, we're going to go, not I say we, me and some friends of mine, we're going to Laconia for their 100th year bike rally next summer. And we booked a cottage just outside Laconia, and it was $2,000 for the week. $2,000 for the week. That was Canadian, and we're splitting it by like 6 people. So, that's not bad, right? So I'm down with that, and it should be a lovely place. What's a good MagSafe wallet you recommend? I had an actual question. I actually like the ESR ones. I find, do I have? No. The ESR ones are pretty good, and the Zira. I've been a fan of both of those guys. They have really nice products. Right now, I'm actually running the Zira. I say I'm running it, but I have it in a different case right now. But this is normally the ESR case that I'm using right now. It's got this little flippy guy on it, right? For using as a little tripod stand. Normally I have that. And then of course my quad lock case, which is my other case, just for whatever's. But yeah, ESRs, I have no issues with them. And the bonus to ESR, of course, is you can buy 99% of all their stuff on Amazon. And if you're an Amazon Prime person, not that I'm, being all like, hey, you should buy la la la. But if you do, then you can return it if you don't like it, right? It's free returns, which is always excellent. And of course, if you buy through one of my links, this is my sales pitch. If you buy through one of my links, I get a small kickback. I get a small cut, which supports the channel. Yeah. I'm still on the iPhone XR, thinking of large 14 non-pro. Did you know that they have reduced how many of those that they're going to make because the 14 non-pro is just not selling well? And when they talked about it, oh, did it say anything? Oh, it says 31 minutes 21 seconds on MacRumors. It has a clock counter. You guys see that on MacRumors? Don't leave here if you have to. But yeah, the large 14, what is it called? The 14 Max or something? I can't remember. I guess it's not selling very good, right? So, but it's probably still, it uses the innards really of the 13, and the 13 Pro or 13, that the chip inside it is super fast. And if you're coming from a 10R, that's a great upgrade. I'll be honest with you, like I got the 14 Pro, and coming from a 13 Pro, and here's my 10-second review. It's nice. The 48 megapixel camera, which is the reason I bought the camera. Cool, stupid large file sizes. So how often you're going to use it, I don't know, because of the fact that you can't shoot 48 megapixels in JPEG, which I don't know why they don't let me have a 48 megapixel in JPEG. Like, I don't need it raw all the time. I just want the ability to crop. So I think most people that have the iPhone like 14 Pro, that, they're like, oh, 48 megapixel camera. Most of them will not ever even use the 48 megapixels because of the fact that majority of them probably don't even realize that you have to go into the camera settings and change it to RAW and then enable 48 megapixels. And then when you shoot, you have to tell it that you want to shoot RAW. And then of course you need more processing. And most people that are shooting from a phone don't want to do any of that, right? So I don't know. The last one that I kind of liked, which was cool, was the fact that they had that cinematic mode in 4K, which I liked and I've used, and it's kind of cool. You guys saw maybe the videos that came out on Saturday. Cool, needs some work because it's having issues right now. But worth the price point? For most people, I'm going to say no. If you have, honestly, if you have a 12 or 13, I don't know. It's fine. You got all these people like, oh my gosh, it's so fast. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But you know what? How fast do you need it? It does everything that the 12 does and the 13 does and all this. It just doesn't make any sense. So save a few bucks. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things, like I bought it. And the only reason I bought it is because, honestly, I get a lot of companies that are like, hey, we want to send you a product, but we want to make sure you're testing it on the newest version of the iPhone. So I kind of need it to be able to collaborate with some companies that are sending things like cases or things like stands or things like whatever, right? Because they may be iPhone 14 specific. Other than that, I probably wouldn't have got it. And my daughter actually was running on an iPhone XR, and she was wanting an upgrade. So I figured, well, I'll upgrade and then all the phones will hand me down, right? Because that just seems better. So she ended up with my wife's 12 Pro. My wife got my 13 Pro, and I've got the 14 Pro. So there you go. That's what's going down. That's what's going down today. Yeah. And 27 and a half minutes is what we're looking at. So again, this is going to be a fairly long. I should have got myself more coffee. That's what's going down. Any questions on any of the videos that we put out this week? Anything? No? Yes? Possibly? You know, curious? I just refreshed my page and I got an ad. That's cool. Ads are up there now. I'm supposed to welcome to live chat. Anybody? Okay, question. Canon mirrorless. What would you buy under $3,000? So, are we looking at, of course, brand new? Yes, brand new. Because, and I'm guessing 3,000 Canadian. So I'm gonna do this. And it's at 3,000 with lens or without lens? I'm just starting to get caught up on channels. Yeah, true that. Because, you know, it's hard, new or used, but probably new. Okay. So, in the world of Canon, for me at least, and you have that price point, really, and did you say, no, it didn't say body only. So, right now the R6, and I want to put this really, there's a couple options really under that price point. So I'm just on Viztech's website right now. So you're looking at the ESR full frame. You can get, it comes with a lens adapter. That's pretty good for $2,529. Okay, that's good. You can get the R6 for $2,954, and that's of course before taxes. And you can get, which is the one that I've been kind of the most curious about, the R7. Is the R7 out yet? The R7's out yet, is it not? Hold on, I gotta look. Canon R7 body. And the Canon R7 body is coming in at $1,900. So, here's the big differences. Canon R, which I have, 30 megapixel full frame. 30 megapixel. So let's talk about the photo side. 30 megapixel full frame. Okay. The R6, 20 megapixel full frame. And you're looking at the R7, it's got actually the highest resolution at 32.5 megapixels, but crop sensor. Now, I actually don't mind the crop sensor because in some aspects you get a little bit extra reach in some aspects. But if you're looking at low life sensitivity and you're looking at, which ones kind of give you the lowest amount of noise because of the sensor and, things like that, then, you kind of want that full frame. I really am happy with my R6. The RP for photos, actually really good, or not the RP, sorry, the R actually really good too. So I like the R because you get a good size sensor, 30 megapixels, which is great. Full frame, which is good. It's also, and it kind of sits in the middle right now between the R7 and the R6, but it's an older camera, right? And that camera, a lot of people think is going to be updated, or there'd be a replacement soon. So, but it's a nice camera. I honestly really like it. I've been sort of, because I shoot more video, I've been sort of thinking of selling my R. What did they say the R went for? 2,500, I think it was. Yeah, so I might sell it for, if anybody's interested, right? A little less. Probably around, well, if I could get enough to get the R7, to be honest with you, if I could get enough to get the R7, because for me, video is more important because I need a camera that does both. So let's talk about video. R6, awesome, 4K, does 4K 60, 4K 30, 4K 24, etc. Really good. Has fantastic eye detection and face detection, etc. So if you're looking at video, I think it's probably the best one of the three that I just talked about. The R has good. It's got face detection and eye detection. It doesn't have specifics like animal detection or like automotive detection or anything like that. But again, is that necessary? I don't know. It depends. But it does have a 4K crop. So you're looking at, I think it's a 1.4 crop or something like that when you're shooting video. So just kind of realize it kind of puts it into what the R7 is. So that's why for me, like the R7, I was kind of like curious about it because of the fact that, I have a full frame and it would kind of be nice to be able to put the lens on a crop sensor for those times that I want that extra reach, to be able to get that 1.6 times for photos, and all my lenses change, right? They become whatever they are times 1.6. But you do increase a little bit of noise. So it's a hard answer. For me, the R6 is my favorite right now, still. If it was photos, then the R. If it was video next, then it would be R7. If that makes any sense. What do you think about the screens that you can attach to your laptop, and now you have 3 screens to work with? So are you talking about an actual screen, or you're talking about an iPad screen? The R6 sounds nice. Yeah, the R6 is it's the one that I shoot with when I'm shooting in the studio downstairs. I miss my R6 all the time. It's fantastic. I love it. But again, if I were to buy another camera on top of the R6, right now, it would probably be the R7. I discovered your channel, care to introduce. I just discovered care to introduce. I don't understand what the question is. Care to introduce. Not too sure. What do you think about the screens? 3 screen setup is very nice for a product. Yeah, well, see, I have, even on my MacBook, I actually have it connected to three screens. I wish I could turn this around. Hold on. I'll turn this around so you can see. Hopefully this doesn't, ready? This is what I'm playing with right now, right? So I've got my MacBook going into a Huawei 34-inch curved, also going into a Samsung curved. I think that's just a 27-inch, 28-inch. I've got my iPad on the side here just for waiting for the updates. But the MacBook, just so you know, by default can't actually do dual display. So I have this hub down here, right here, which allows me to do dual display out of the Mac. So don't expect to get a MacBook, well, at least like the 13-inch or anything like that. The old one, I don't know what the new one does, and get dual display or triple display. Now, the other thing that I sometimes use is I actually bought one of those little 13-inch portable screens. They're not very expensive. I think they're like, I don't know, $150 or something like that. And I used to use that when I traveled because I wanted to bring a second display with me, because it just folds up and it actually looks like an iPad, but all it does is it's a display. It's good, but now I use my iPad. Because my iPad can be used as a secondary display, so I just use that, and I usually just put my menus and stuff over on it, or I put email up on it, or whatever it is, and that works really good. And just so you guys know, I had it on my last case, which I don't think I have anymore, for because I took it off my MacBook. But what is it called? Rolling Square has a new, I think it's on Indiegogo or Kickstarter. They have a new little device for adding like your phone or your iPad or whatever to like your monitor. And I've used their previous one, which is great, but now they have a pro version coming out, which they're sending me as soon as they get some made, I guess. And that was really a nice option too, because I literally get stuck on the back of your it could be your monitor, your laptop, or whatever, and it was almost on a hinge, so you could hide it, right? So it would fold down, and it would just be on the back of your laptop or whatever, and then whenever you needed it, it would fold up. Now, this was designed, at least at that point, really for like iPhones and things like that, because it was a magnet based, so it would use MagSafe to snap your phone on, but it worked really great. I really enjoyed it. So hopefully that made some sense. I don't know if it did. What do you recommend to start a YouTube tech channel? Now, is the question more about what gear, or what? Give me a little bit more specifics on what you need, because for me, you know what? I started my channel really, I say really, like not just me just posting videos about whatever, because I started posting YouTube because it was just a free place to put videos so that I didn't have to store them. So, you know, in regards to hardware nowadays, you don't need a lot, right? Gear and ideas. You don't need a ton, right? 2 cameras is a must, you know, if you're doing tech stuff. But it doesn't have to be anything overly fancy. It just has to be high enough quality that, you know, you can see the components, right? So that you can see the stuff that you're talking about. So 1080 4K, but don't get a cheap 4K or cheap 1080. Get something decent. Your smartphone is probably good enough. I say good enough. I'm using my smartphone right now, right? I'm using my iPhone. It's fine. Quality's good. What I'm not using right now, which is something I do use almost all the time, is, you know, definitely invest in 2 things. Audio, right? Because audio is important. Here's my little camera that I use for like vlogging, right? And honestly, depending on how much money you have, this is still one of my favorite little cameras. And I bet you, if I was on a budget right now, and I was like, okay, I want to set up a tech, it doesn't matter, vlog channel, tech channel, YouTube channel, whatever it was, you know, I would probably buy 2 of these. I'd buy 2 of these, or 2 of the ZV-E10s, or they have the ZV-E1 now, but the ZV-1, sorry, the ZV-1F, which is the fixed lens. So it's got a 20 mil, which is actually really nice because it's wider. So I would probably get the 20 mil, because I actually shoot downstairs with a 20 mil, right? So I'd get the ZV-1F, that one, for my front camera, the one that's facing me. And because it's fixed, you know, you can just kind of position yourself, get it ready, and it's locked, and you're good. And then I'd get either a ZV-1 or a ZV-E10. I use the ZV-E10 as my top-down camera because it's got the product mode where it'll actually focus on like whatever's closest. So as you move stuff toward the camera, it just focuses on it. It locks on like a rock star, which is awesome. But yeah, the phones nowadays, and for those of you that are running Apple stuff, and if you have a new iPhone and you have the new, like a newer computer, like they have that new mode that's supposed to, which is, I'm super excited to try, that one where you can mount your iPhone and use it as your webcam, and then it'll, when it's in its ultra wide, it can shoot on the table. Like what? Yeah, so it gets this, you can use it as a top-down camera, even though it's facing forward. I don't quite get it, but it's there, so that's awesome. But again, I come back to here, right? Audio, 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 right? So for this, because this is never more than like arm's reach away, audio, get audio. Audio is important because nobody wants to watch a video. Well, some do, some don't care. That is just horrible sound. Now, I'll be the first to admit, like I shoot a lot of vlog style stuff with this right here. I love this little camera. Not that I would have it as my only camera. I don't think so. But this is the DJI Go 2, sorry. This comes around with me all the time. Whenever I'm doing vlog stuff, you'll see footage out of that in almost every one of the videos. Fantastic. Audio is not great because there's no mic jack, right? So I can't plug it, nor would I want to. That camera's so tiny, right? But I have the Insta360 cameras, like the One RS and the One R, and that has a mic jack, and that works really well. Whenever you see me doing a moto vlog one, that's what I'm using. But yeah, audio really, really important. Here though, like next one I'll talk about is just lighting, right? I'm just sitting in front of a window, right? I have window over here, window over here. Lighting okay? Yeah, it's decent. It's fine, right? I got decent light though. If you want to be able to sculpt light to kind of give yourself a look or an aesthetic, then invest in like an actual light with a softbox or something like that. Again, you can go online. You can get ones from like, what is it? Yeah, GVM. I think it stands for Great Video Makers. But they have a ton of like little LED panels that you can buy, or like, I never pronounce it right. Neewer, I don't know. Neewer. Same thing. You can get really good budget lights that are fantastic. I don't have any lights. Well, that's not true. I've got some lights that are like $200-300, but for the first couple of years, I used just cheap lights, but but video lights. Make sure they're video lights. If not, you can get weird casting and stuff like that for color, right? So camera-wise, start with what you got. The key is, I think, is to not ponder too much on gear. Don't ponder too much on gear. That comes, right? When I started doing, like, it's funny because now I look at those videos and I'm like, oh, that's not great. But when I started, like I would shoot on, I had a little Sony Handycam, right? I don't even know if it shot 1080, right? I shot with my iPhone a lot. That's what I had, so that's what I used. So I would shoot, right? It is what it is. It got me doing videos because you can always improve your quality of video with some better gear down the road. But at the beginning, you just want to get content out there, right? You want to get content out there. You want to get better at the editing phase, color correcting, learning how to use your editor. Because one of the things too, if you really want to get into this, and I'll give myself as an example, you really need to get a flow set up, right? You need to get a flow set up because if you are making videos like me where you put out one a day, they take so much time, and depending on your camera and again your workflow, they can take even more time. So for instance, someone here is Tech for Your, I love my ZV-1. Yeah, me too, I love it. Now I shoot with the ZV-1 with no stabilization, and then I use Catalyst Browse after for the stabilization. And the problem is that it takes time, right? So it's, you got, well, for one, you have to have a decent computer, right? And again, I shoot with a lot of Insta360 cameras. And I'll give you, for instance, I shot with 3 Insta360 cameras yesterday when we were on a motorcycle ride. I don't know, it took 10 hours to render the files out. 10 hours, I would say, somewhere in that range, because it's not, they're hard for a computer to digest, right? To actually stabilize. So just, yeah, upgrade your skills before upgrading your equipment. Yeah, for sure, right? But just realize a good computer is really important, because the last thing that you want is to be frustrated with the editing phase because your computer is your hindrance, right? I know for me, you know, if I didn't have, I'm fortunate that I've bought some of this stuff. Well, computer gear, I bought all of it, but I'm fortunate enough that it's fast enough for me to do this stuff, because it can be really frustrating sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting, or trying to see something in real time and it stutters and it doesn't move good. So yeah, make sure you get a computer for one before you even invest too much in that can handle it, or else you'll just be frustrated. So that's my thoughts. Audio is more important than video, yes. I love my ZV-E10 kit lens. I also just shoot with the kit lens, works great. iPhone 13 Pro with camo software. Camo, I have to look. I don't know what camo software is, so I'll take a look. So yeah, I was looking at an Insta360 until I saw how long it took you to deal with the files. I grabbed a DJI Action. Yeah, so you know what? I was actually looking at getting one of the Action cams, the DJI Action 2 or 3, whatever it was, because 100%, I think that's the biggest issue with the Insta360, right? Is if you really want to take full advantage of what it's capable of doing, like, it's a lot of work. You know, it's your computer is it's tied, like it's literally tied up. So when I take footage from, do I have one over here? Yeah. So this is without case, right? This is, oops, this is it here, right? So this is the Insta360 RS with the mic adapter on it, outside of the cage, doesn't have the battery on it. Those are both charging right now. But I could, two things. I could input that card, and if it was a full card, so let's say 60 gigs, which is a full card, which gives me about an hour and a half worth of footage, which is not crazy long. I don't know, 5 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, just to render it out, just to render it through its stabilization so that it's ready to put into an editor and work. Now, I'm sure there's faster ways to do it, but I want the most flexibility. So this is the way I do it, so that I don't have to render out ever again, right? But now I got to store that file somewhere, so that 60 gig file is also sitting on my computer. So it's crazy. Oh, look, best adult dating site. Please, nobody go there. Unless you want to. Is there a way for me to block that? Come on now. I think I can. Here we go. Hide user. I'm gonna report user. Yep. Here we go. Boom. And this one as well. Yeah. I'm reporting them all. Yeah. Boom. That's exciting. Thank you. I didn't hit block, I hit report. If they post again, I'll hit block. So what is it? Should I wait for the M2 14-inch? At this point in time, you're in the same boat I am, because many of you may have saw that I bought a Mac Studio, which I don't have anymore. And it's because of the fact that, number one, I wanted a bigger hard drive if I was to stay with the M1 Studio. So it went back because I tried it for my 14 days. And then we're so close. Like, all the rumors are saying like end of October, first week of November. Now, if you need a computer, you need a computer. And I think the M1s are still fantastic, right? But that's why I'm waiting now, because I don't want to buy it now and then realize in a week that the new ones are out for the same price, you know, or the old ones go down in price, right? So I kind of want the newest, because then I know at least I get a year out of it before the upgrade, you know, especially this close to knowing that an upgrade is coming out. And right now, another machine would be super useful. So if you can wait, I'd wait, just because of what all the rumors are saying. So that's my thoughts. Camo software allows you to use your iPhone as a video feed into a desktop as another camera. There is a cost, but very good. Much more versatile than using the continuity feature. All right, I'll take a look for sure. Continuity does work well in Ventura if you want a better camera for video calls. Yeah, that's also because like the video out of my phone right now is fantastic, and this is just using like the front facing camera. So if I could spin it around and mount it and use the rear cameras, where I could get for one the ultra wide, or of course on the 14 you're now running that 48 megapixel camera, which I would think handle everything really good too. Plus even just give you a just a natural like more bokeh, right? Jumping off into a meeting. Enjoy it, Mike. Talk to you soon. I'm sure you'll be doing the updates too. What are we looking at now? What are we looking at? 4 minutes. Man, I've talked a lot. Oh, sorry, I kicked the table. It seems I can't do a video, live video, for less than an hour. It seems what it is. But that's okay. So anyways, yes, I would wait for an M2 14-inch because, for one, the M2 over M1, honestly, supposedly was like a very small upgrade, right? It was, depending on what you were doing, was like, what did they say? Anywhere from like 10 to like 20% increase. But it's an increase, right? It is an increase for sure. You know, you take the current M1 Pro or M1 Max and you turn it into an M2 Pro or M2 Max. Is it faster? Yeah. And if I can get them for the same price, why would I not want that? You know? And again, if it was 3 months ago and they're like, oh, you know, M2's coming out on the 14-inch in November, I'd be like, can't wait, because they're fast machines. I don't know if any of you actually watched my benchmark test of my M1 Max, the M1 Studio, and I put it up against an i7 PC laptop, and I put it up against my M1 MacBook Pro, and it was just significant in the most part. Like, especially for a lot of the apps that I use, you could really tell, I think, that there was a lot of bottlenecking in some aspects to the drive, because that drive, for one, is fast on here, but the processor and CPU barely ever hit 100%, right? So you got to look at that too, because, you know, on my M1, we'd hit 100% quite frequently. Like when I was doing the Insta360 footage yesterday, 100%, it sits up there. The fans are on. It's cooking, right? It's just, as much as they say it's the fans never come on. Work with 360 footage for 5 hours. The fans come on 100%. And once they're on, they're on. But 100%. When I was running Insta360 on my studio, they only got up to, I think it was like 75% or something like that. So it's bottlenecking somewhere else. It could have been bottlenecking in RAM. It could have been bottlenecking right into the drive. I'm not too sure. But if I got an M2 Pro, you know, will it be faster? Maybe not, because of the fact that the CPU is waiting anyway, right? So that's kind of what I wanted to test. And to be completely honest, budget plays a factor. And, you know, me spending, well, a machine that I want to get, you know, it's like $3,500 Canadian, because I want a bigger hard drive. Do I want to spend $3,500 Canadian? No, I do not. So if I can get something that's even, I don't want to say comparable, but somewhere in between, you know, the M1 and the M1 Max, that's kind of sits in here, let's say an M2 Pro, for maybe, you know, $1,000 less. So it comes in, you know, around the $2,000 mark after taxes. Okay, now we're talking, right? Weirdly enough, budget plays a factor. You know, I live stream with Sony ZV-1. I've done that too, but today was more of a rush job, and my cables aren't up here, and it was all of a sudden, it was like 2 minutes to 1, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So it was the, hey, I need to get something up and running. And I wanted to see also if I could use cinematic mode on the iPhone with YouTube, and just, you know, I don't think you can. That's sad. That's sad. Checking for updates, still nothing here. Nope, still nothing here. Now, on a side note, just for you guys, if you're interested, if any of you are on Epic Games, not for Mac, but Epic Games for Windows, this week's free game is Fallout 3. Fallout 3. Free game. It's an older game, still a good game. So I downloaded it. Haven't played it yet, but I'm like, I'm down for a freebie, you know? I think it's still, yep, still up there as of today. It's Evoland and Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition. If you have a Windows computer. So regularly it's more money. Now it's less money. Free less money. Yep. Which is Trey's good. Oh yes. I'm hungry. I want this software to be released. Oh, it's 2 o'clock. Is it 2 o'clock? Gotta run. Good live stream. Old guy on a bike. We will see you later. You're always invited in my neck of the woods to go for a ride. Next time you're here, or if I'm in Newfoundland, I will definitely look you up and see you. Hopefully see you on the next live stream. I hope to do more of these. Anyways, while we're sitting here, I don't need that. I need Mac OS. See, there's no clock anymore. No clock anymore. So let's go to the iPad, because as many of you know, you want to be first in the list, sort of. Checking for updates, negative. All right. We are looking for updates because it's time. It's time. Software update, checking. Nope. And I'm checking, and once this, just so you guys know, once this starts, then we'll end this, right? We'll end this live chat, because I'll have to update my phone, right? Anybody know the is it Option R, Command R? No, that's not Command R. To refresh the system preferences. Maybe it's Command R. Yeah, Command R. Just so you know, if you're on the software update page on your Mac, Command R will check for updates. And just so you know, it says you're still good. Command R. Command R. Come on, Command R. I think Command R did it on my computer downstairs, but it's not doing it up here. I dislike you. I dislike you a lot. Don't know what's happening. All right, 201. Check there. Check there. I've got all the screens up. I've got all the screens up for something to tell me that it's been released. See, it came up here. It says Apple has released. Boom. Why do I not see it? Why do I not see it? It says it's been released. I am saying I don't see it. Anybody else see it? Anybody else have it? Says it checked it. Checking. Checking. Oh, it's taking longer this time. Taking longer. I see. Me too. I'm on Mac Rumors, and they say it's out, and maybe it's out in the U.S. and us here in not U.S. Just, you know, iPad 15.7 is still current, it says. Oh, I really just want to eat. I'm so hungry. And yes, I haven't eaten yet today. And it's 2:03. 2:03. Come on. Checking. I've even got my computer downstairs checking for updates. Yeah, that's how on the ball I am. Oh, man. I'm in Eastern time, still haven't gotten it. And I'm Atlantic time, don't have it. I'm moving this screen over there. There we go, checking. So I have a Intel Mac checking, an M1 Mac checking, an iPad running older, so not an M processor. Go grab some grub and come on back. We'll still be here. Well, I may, for those of you that are here, I'm gonna do one more check. One more check, right? One more check, general, software update, checking, no, checking. Still checking. No. Okay, I'm gonna throw something. I have an air fryer. I love the air fryer. I'm gonna throw something. It's not out in the USA yet either. What number are we supposed to get on the update? So on Mac, it will be Mac OS Ventura, which is now they may actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it may not be considered an actual update. You may have to go to the App Store. If I check here, you may have to go to the App Store because it may consider it a like not. So I wonder if I'm on Mac. Nope. Yeah, Mac Rumors, because it says it's out, right? It says it's out. Does it have a link? Anybody? A link to it? Does it have a link? How do I get it? Any links? Don't see it there. If I do a search for Apple OS Ventura, I'm just going to Apple's site. Do they have a download? Anything? If they do, I don't see it. Because sometimes, 15.7 is current as of now, but 15.7 will be the old update once the new one comes out. And it's, your iPad got the update. Okay, iPad got it. Let's see. General software update. Come on. Upgrade to iPad. Yes. There it is at the bottom. Download and install. All right. Thank you. So that's, I keep banging my knee. That's coming. Agree. I'm trying to agree. Now, let's just wait to see if anybody can figure out what's going on with the computer. So, I did get the iPad one as well. It came up and you look and it says it's updated. Then at the bottom of the screen, it comes up and says iOS 16 available. So make sure you look at the bottom of your iPad screen because it'll be lower. It's because 15.7 doesn't have an update. There's a new OS. So you kind of look at it that way, if that makes sense, right? What is this? I'm gonna try this, hold on. Checking for updates again, come on. But yes, I am now 44 minutes to download. 44 minutes to download on my iPad is what it says. 41 minutes. Still not available in UK. I got 16.1. So that's the one we want. 16.1 is the one we want. It's the one that's coming down because they don't get 16 because 16 was only released for iPhones. 16.1 is what the iPhone will get today and the iPad will get today. And then on a Mac, you're going to get Ventura. So my iPhone got it by pleasure. Mac OS 13 got it. Mac OS 13 got it. Why am I not getting it? I'm going to keep looking. Again, I'm curious. Let's just do here. Come on. Is it big? 5.52 gigs. Both machines are looking. Aha. So, yes, I got it on my MacBook. Agree. Okay. But I have not yet got it on the Intel Mac. As far as I know, the Intel Mac got it. I thought. So, yeah, it's definitely hefty. All right, guys, it looks like they're slowly coming out, except for my Intel Mac, but I'm not going to wait too long for that one. I'm going to check one last time just to see. But everything is coming. That's good. They were close. Let's just hope it all downloads successfully. No, still nothing for my Intel Mac. All right, I'm gonna go get something to eat. Leave comments below after this finishes to let me know how successful it is. You said 5.5 gigs. Mine's 6.37 gigs. 6.37 gigs for Ventura on my MacBook Pro. So yes, let's do this again. We will, for sure. Like I said, I think I might try to do a Friday, maybe like a Friday afternoon, maybe around lunchtime. We'll do a chat. Do you remember me? I made you a Discord. Yes, I do. Which I haven't really had chance to do anything with because I am so swamped right now. All right, guys, I'm going to leave. Leave comments down below after your update finishes to tell me how successful or how non-successful it ended up. All right, guys, I'm out. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Later.